episode is sponsored by Teamhood, a modern project management system.
So, hello, Pierre. Welcome on the Agile couch, cushions, whatever. And we are in Agile Tour Vilnius 2022. You just had really nice speech.
Thank you.
Yeah, in one of the rooms about 12 steps of transformation for your organization. It was really nice. I draw a lot of things and it was so cool. But I know if we need to talk about that, maybe we can start with just maybe you can introduce yourselves. Because who knows? Maybe
introduce myself.
Yeah.
Complicated. Pierre, sober, very much German, French citizenship, living in Switzerland, over 15 years in Agile, member of the PMI, doing a lot of things. I created Agile for HR, Play 14, used to work with a lot of people. I love experimenting.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to talk about, oh, this is a cool idea in Agile. No, I try it, oh, this works, this doesn't work, or this seems to work. And like the 12 steps is, 12 is a little bit provocative on purpose. And I try to make fun presentation.
Yeah.
That's all.
And you mentioned at the beginning of your slides about Play 14.
Yes.
And actually that was really what I was interested into.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say a bit more about this because I participate in these 12 steps. Maybe we have more things about that too. But let's start from the Play 14.
Yeah, Play 14. Play 14 is like the Agile Tour of gamification, serious games, facilitation. So we started with two of the colleagues in Luxembourg called 2013, this kind of stuff. And now we spread out all around the world. And this weekend we have Play 14 in Munich. And then we had Spain, Australia, Kuala Lumpur, Mexico, Canada, everywhere. But it's like you do it. And this is 2.5 days of serious games and facilitation. And you can, it's more like a camp, a coach camp, but not only with Agile people. So the idea is bringing new ideas. So we have actors or comedians, hospital clowns, or psychologists or teacher. You have a lot of people very interesting in this kind of facilitation, and you have just 2.5 days of fun.
So it's a fun, gamificated activity about facilitation?
Or we call it play, share, learn, or play, share, learn. We know, I use a lot of gamification techniques. Like when I present, I try to play with the audience to make it fun.
Yeah.
So let's say, you don't understand what I'm talking, but you had fun. I'm fine with that, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing is what you do at work as a coach when you make a workshop, and we do a lot of workshops. Instead of analyzing, we do this workshop, brainstorming workshop, and we make it fun. Really make it fun. So you're happy to go there. Not say not again, right? It really is and full of fun, because I do also research on organizational psychology to understand. Through fun, you unleash your creativity. Yeah. You have less fear. Then you can come maybe crazy ideas or just ideas, and I can see how you react. If you're usually offended by the fun, usually you're not the doer.
Yeah. Great. And if people would like to have more information about Play 14, where they can
Play 14, play14.org.
Okay, great. I will check that out.
Even YouTube channel, this is fun. You can see all the crazy people who attended. It's a community based. There's non-profit. Nobody makes money with that.
But this is recurrent every year. There's in many different places around the world. Is that right?
It's not every year.
Okay.
It's whenever they want.
Okay, so it's more ordered.
No, we can. We had five in June.
Okay.
So we had Berlin. You have maybe I'm wrong, right? We have Portugal. We had Spain. Then we have Bologna. So we had planned a couple which didn't work. So we planned to do in Basel, Switzerland. Didn't work for any kind of reason, maybe sickness or whatever. Okay, happened. But it's starting over. But usually we are covering We had Mexico. I made 1 year, 2 years ago, one virtually, 24 hours on Zoom.
24 hours?
Yeah, starting 9 a.m. in the morning Sydney time, ending 5 p.m. Mexico time.
Okay.
And every 2 hours another group of people. It was insane, you see. And the idea is, I have an idea, let's try it. And so you guys say, oh yeah, it could be fun.
And it was only one time when you tried this virtual, or you were planning?
We did it one shot, then the second time we say, then you have people engage something else. It was not a good time. I said, okay, now you know what to do.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Then maybe let's just quickly glance at this 12 steps of transformation to your organization, and a lot of information actually through this small time of window which we had. And I know, like even those steps which you mentioned this, those steps are really like small ones, but from the organization perspective, I think it's still a huge change when you're trying to remove a bit of layer from one part and then fix it, or change another part.
It is, because usually when you do a change and a transformation, not only in Agile, even digital, whatever, you want to be a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
But you don't consider where we are. Usually you don't really know where you are. And then maybe you see where you are in Vilnius, but you do not care what is happening in Zurich. This is what happened. And so here is really to consider, it's a little more complicated than you expected. And have this small tiny space because it helps you to make quick wins, or may say, okay, now I'm stepping back because maybe, let's say, I'm at level 8, then the next month, 7. Okay, but you already know where you can measure yourself. And this is, it's a deal, measurement. It's not a maturity process. Because it's complete. Because each time you merge, you understand, each time you merge an organization, it's like each time you have a new team member. If you have a new team member, your velocity doesn't increase. At the beginning, because it's new people coming in. And when you merge a company, where you have team members from everywhere else, it needs time. I used to work a lot of merge and acquisition, and people say, oh, now we are all the same company. I say, you're not. You're not. They have a branding, and even internally still with the old name, you still have, I'm going to regret this time. And because this is growth. Another point I didn't address here is when you have this kind of masterclass for you, is growth by assimilation, not growth by colonization. It's complicated because each time you add a new member, a new team, it changes the core.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that.
And you have to be simpler, because if you have now people from all the universe, including the other galaxies and other planets, it means that your corporate culture has to be super, super simple. It don't have this code of ethics and this way of working, just adding new things in it. No, that people really understand it. That's very complicated.
Yeah. And for people maybe who didn't participate and they maybe don't understand what is these steps and what we talking about, so we had structure which we want to lower, and we have organization which we want to make it happen.
Let's say it's organization, not structure. And this is based on the work of people it's called Waterman and another colleagues, I guess Peters, I'm not sure. It was in the 90s. And I started working for McKinsey, and I started working in the AW model, which is a transformation model. And this model is quite highlighting the way is, if I'm a senior manager, I have a title, it's me in the role in the structure. And that structure in my organization, which is based on the structure of the king on the top, the knights, etc., etc. So when I'm just a farmer, I have an issue with the duke, I have to go through the knight first, because I have to respect. And the problem is when I have a new kid coming in and he is flirting with the assistant of the CEO, he gets the information. So we say we have this structure, and the flirting is what we say organization. It's based on sociogram. Or simply said is, we do a game is, who is your manager and who are you asking for help? And the people you're asking for help is the leader. So then we understand, okay, I'll have one part, me in the organization, I'm a manager, I want to be a senior manager, and then to be a director, etc., etc. That's okay. But that's not the part that brings value for anyone. It brings value for you as a medium, fine. But the salary, compensation, whatever, that's okay. But it's not bringing the value for the company. But if a company comes from something else, our projects, and these are because we work on project, we are producing the value for the company here. This is where the customer is working. Then ask yourself, where is my customer interacting? If it's interacting with the structure, it's about contracts, legal and compliance. Business creation, not there. Organization. This is where A, structure, O, organization comes up. Is we need to have less structure, meaning it's not over compliance thing, and more organization-like. And how to get there here? It's more like more of this, less of this, right? And then we explain also what is the ultimate case of the full organization model, which sounds crazy. It's not to say that's not the goal. But now you know how far you can go, and if you know how far you can go, you can say, okay, I can go stopping here, not going that far, and that's okay.
So it's good enough to know where you want to go, maybe stop at that place, and maybe after some time you would like to step even further.
Yeah, or not, or backwards. It's not a problem.
Yeah, and you mentioned on the wrap up that business, engineering, and management should be aligned and should be
I call it the win-win-win model.
Win-win.
It's complicated, yeah. And this, if you study complex systems, which is quite boring, but the question was, how do you lead complex system? And we have a German researcher and Professor Dr. Peter Kruse. He wrote something very interesting: is the only relationship as a leader in complex system is negotiation. Because complex system is the mood where you have co-creation. So I'm jumping on your ideas, you're jumping on mine, and this create a new idea. This is where you create this innovation, what you call emergent innovation. This is what we're looking for, right? Everyone, right? And how if you come here as patronizing, stop doing this, you're blocking this behavior. Yeah. So you're blocking this potential creation of innovation. So how you do it? You deal it. So you have a word called constructive irritant. I put it from Dave Snowden. Constructive irritant. I mean, okay, that's fine, but can you do it better? I would love more having green here and this here. So irritant means I don't accept everything. I'm constructive. Say that's not okay. I would love to have more of this and this way. This is what we call feedback. We need feedback. Yeah. And this is all based on culture. And people say, yes, I'm the team. I would love to do this. But understand we have an update of the data service. This is not possible yet, but in 2 weeks it's feasible. Then it's okay, deal for 2 weeks.
Yeah, great. And will your slides be, or maybe they are already somewhere in the cloud reachable?
Yeah, it's called a book.
Maybe you can just mention then the book.
I have a book. I have 2 books. Usually it's mostly in PDF format, in digital format. You find it also on Amazon. Yeah. So just Google my name, Pierre Neis books. The first is called The New Normal AO Patterns, and the second one is called Swarming X4. And you find everything. You can go on LeanPub. The 2 books are there, PDF, EPUB format, and not a big money. I will print it now, that will be more expensive, but I will create a third book, is basically 12 steps.
When we can expect
this year.
This year even?
Yeah. Yeah, the initial book was more the book for me, right? Theories, concept. Can be annoying and boring, I'm okay with that. and then you come up with the main ideas. Then is the idea of swarming. Swarming is how you get there. The swarming technique is how you hijack, how you can speed up. And the swarming idea is how to. Then you have the 12 steps. Then you will have about the plexus. Plexus, what is the governance and leadership model for this?
Yeah. So plexus is the 12th step of this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for everyone who started to intrigue by this. Look for Pierre books, and Next time, if you will see that Pierre is somewhere talking, just participate in that conference or that event, and you will learn a lot, actually.
Thank you so
Pierre.
much. That's nice of you.
Have a nice day then.
You too. Thank you.